So some of you might already see in the videos that I switched to Bitwig. I just believe it's the best audio DAW that currently suits the desires and needs for an electronic music producer, and I'm really convinced by this DAW. But I'm going to make another video on this topic, but right now I just want to focus on the main content of this channel, which is making atmospheric drum and bass. So therefore, let's check out how an Abem break has to be sliced and cut and edited and do everything in Bitwig. And this is what I want to discover today. So let's get started. Oh, there's an update available, and this is what I like about Bitwig. There's just so much more updates and things going on. Let's just head over and see version info. I'm really curious what changed. Fix cases where the engine could sometimes get stuck loading a plugin. Well, that happened to me, to be fair, because I'm using now VST3 plugins and not the audio unit plugins. Okay, interesting. Just my impression is that the Bitwig development is just more... There's more going on than with Ableton Live, but okay. Copy pasting it to applications, replace. So all my hard drives are now copied to my NAS. And Bitwig update ready. So let's keep this running in background, because this is one of big advantage of Bitwig Studio. It has so much better performance compared to Ableton Live. That's, I think, to be honest, it still does not feel to me really homey, comfortable. But I already see the benefits of everything. There's so many things I haven't tried out yet. Let me really just focus on producing some amens, okay? So let's get some sample in here. Amen. Let's see what I find on my hard disk. Let's see what that is. Yes, so let's say mode repitch. So I think this is the sample how we can find it, like in the most raw form we can find, right? By the way, there are some things in here. If you see that and if you know how to do it better, please really drop comments. There are so many things I still have to discover in Bitwig, and this is also partially why I'm doing this video. I want to showcase you things that I learned in the last couple of weeks. But if you know some certain things, like if you know how to do them better, please let me know, okay? So, okay, this is my Abem break. And the first thing I would do is let's try to adjust it and quantize it and get everything, yeah, just just editing it and say, okay, the first transient I'm moving to the 1. By the way, I set a key, hotkey, Command M for the metronome. So obviously you see I'm in the wrong tempo. Okay, this is the first thing. Then I'm going to stretch and say, let's stretch it to the proper tempo. And here, this, by the way, in Ableton I can say, this is my, how do you call this in Ableton? Start stretch point and end stretch point. And now what you do in Bitwig is like, you say the end stretch point I'm extending because obviously the snare is on a different level, but in Ableton you can say, without moving this one, I'm deleting this key and I just move this stretch point to 2, and then it's basically extrapolating all the tempo information to the rest of the sample, but I'm not sure how to do this in Bitwig yet. What I'm doing is I'm staring here on the snare, but still moving the whole sample. And I'm moving this until it reaches to the point where it makes sense for me. Yeah, so let's turn on the metronome. Just to get more or less the correct tempo information. Still I can then change things. For example, now I say this is the 1. So I adjust this here and I have another tempo marker, how this is called in Bitwig. And what I really enjoy here in Bitwig is like so much more pitch modes. I didn't discover them, yes, but Elastic Pro is like my weapon of mass creation. Works always, yeah. Seems like the Repitch Pro or Time, what was it called in Ableton? I forgot already. Time Pitch Pro or something. Elastic Solo. There are some glitches, but so I don't need echo. I just want to have the best sound quality, not echo. But again, repitch always works, but you will see very soon why you might not want to use this on the Abem Break, because in the second part here, there's some repitching necessary. You will see this very soon. But okay. Still, let's adjust here the first marker. Put this to the one. Metronome. And there we are with our Abem Break. You can already do something useful with this one. Still, let's check out the last third of the track and see. Here, there's something I want to adjust. You could now decide and say like, okay, I'm fine with the glitches I have in between. Since we want to slice everything, I rather prefer having everything on the grid than, you know, some quantization shuffle. Now here, there's here in between. If you really have everything on the grid, the Abem Break has to slow down here, but okay. But cool, okay, I mean, this is the way how it works here in Bitwig. I like really the repitch effect. I also like this in Ableton, but let's head over again. Where was that again? Here, mode repitch, Elastic Pro. But pitch it down to the more or less repitch value. So I prefer the Elastic Pro with the adjustment of the pitch. Okay, so next step is like slicing it up to Midi and see how I can integrate my controller here. So I'm saying slice to drum machine. And this is what I like. The previous, like telling me I will get 35 slices. I don't need this. I need, say, 1/4. Let's see what happens with 1/4. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Nice. So also what works way better in Bitwig is like, if you have now these sliced samples, I mean, this is like muscle memory. In Ableton, I have to like click around and then choke, I think it's called choke groups, like mute groups, basically in clear English. And all I'm doing here is just select every sample. Okay, I just say Control A or Command A and say choke by all. And this is usually what I want in my drum machine. So just 2 clicks and I have. Amazing, okay? So next step is like, let's record some patterns, okay? So how does this work now? I want to have the release for all my samples longer. How do I do that? I have to figure this out. How do I do that? Oh, guys, where is that? If somebody can tell me, I just want to increase the release for all my samples, but here, right click. Map to controller, okay. Yeah, but am I doing this then for this one sample? I'm not sure. This is still something I have to figure out. So if somebody can tell me. So some random pattern. Okay, of course I was a lot off the grid. Let's see quantization, how this works. This is also something I discovered in Ableton. I'm used to like play a few milliseconds or half a second longer and then the loop is fine, and here it just extends it longer, but okay, so far. So it was not exactly what I had in mind, but hey, it works, okay. So let me now, at least for the notes I was playing, manually extend the release. So let me take the seconds I cut it for you. Turn off the metronome. This is another problem I'm also facing. If you're slicing with the repitch mode, I'm always not sure how much it bounces it to the sample. So I lost it, I don't know. But okay, let's say again, second try. But I can keep the pattern. I say 153. I have the original sample, which is this. Let's slice it again. Slice to drum machine. This is really something I still have to learn. All right, so and this is now, and now I can of course take it just over. No, guys, okay, let's invest some time. Why is that here? What is that? Pressure, release, okay, expressions. So how do I map this? Yeah, how's this working? Release velocity. Not mapped. What is this? Pressure. Amplitude, e.g. not mapped. Guys, how is this working? Please. I don't want to redo everything. Damn. Let's ask ChatGPT. Hi. So be nice to ChatGPT, because we are very soon moving from the generative AI to the general AI, and I don't want to be a slave of our AI, so I try to be nice to the AI. So AI, please appreciate that I always say hello. Another reason is I just check if my ChatGPT is logged in with the browser instance I'm doing here. Okay, so click on the first pad and hold down the shift. Nice. Okay, so I all and shift. No, sorry. ChatGPT, you were hallucinating. Let's take this as our reference. Another thing I did already is like, you can of course obviously save presets, and one is like in Ableton, you might have seen me with my bus preset. So I have my insert bus version 1 in here. So let's just add this, our double click. And in the insert bus, what I'm going to do is like I have an equalizer, I have a compressor, I have some auto pan ongoing, a tool for sidechain ducking, but it's not really sidechain ducking. It's basically like rhythmic volume adjustments, and some preamp, pre-9073 preamp plugin. Yeah, I was using Ableton Live. But the point here is I'm having an insert bus, and just with one click or a few clicks, I'm having all this stuff ready, right? So you could like, I could like say, okay, turn on the equalizer, turn on the low cut. So in Ableton, I was doing this with filters, but my approach is like try to do as much with stock plugins as possible. So let me do this. Now let's head over to the preamp plugin. So what this is doing basically is like it adds, not just increases the equalizer, but also there's some distortion afterwards ongoing because of the preamping, the staging. How this sounds like, you might be familiar because of my videos, but I have no clue how this will work out, but I try to exchange this with some stock plugins, okay? Let's see. Now, of course, this, I mean, equalizing the Abem break without any reference or context is quite difficult, but I just want to show you like how it sounds like and what I try to do. So let's see if I can replace this Arturia plugin with something else. Distortion. Let's see how this distortion sounds like. What is happening here? Bitwig and doing this kind of preamp thing. So far I haven't discovered it, but just like the Arturia thing just works for me out of the box. So let's keep it like this. And now, so another advantage, by the way, of Bitwig is like you can open multiple projects in one instance of the tool. On my laptop, I was playing around with the... So I was on my laptop in the train, by the way, while traveling by train because of a business trip. I was creating this grid plugin. Let me check if this works now out of the box, if I just copy paste the stuff. So copy. Go my drum machine and say here like paste. Okay, this works. Yes, okay, it works. Let me explain what is happening here. So by the way, for me, the grid is like the most versatile modular synthesizer. And I'm familiar with like Reactor. I'm coming from Max MSP, Pure Data, VVVV. I think, you know, I was just trying this out and checking what is happening. So basically what I'm doing here is like, I have this model here, which is like using the note in me, right? So you have the triggers, you have the height of the MIDI note, you have the velocity, and of course you have the channel. You can just repitch things, and I'm just generating noise. You see here to the left out of the noise. And I'm also saying, okay, some constant, still I can't like explain the why, but this noise I'm dividing by a value, and then out of this comes another value that is way more I can control, and then still subtracting another value. I'm adding this to the pitch. So long story short, I'm using the initial pitch, but I'm just randomizing the pitch. This is what this patch is doing. Plus, I'm adding some chance of some probability of what's going on here. So not all the notes are just random, but at least there's some extra probability of some notes deviating from the original pattern. This is what you're going to hear. By the way, this is what I created with ChatGPT. So it helped me and explained like which kind of models I have to use. And I was really impressed that like this whole randomization, chopping up Abem Break stuff, but still considering the rhythm of my original pad, ChatGPT helped me with. This is quite crazy. I think it's really also helpful to see with the current tools that are available that Bitwig is quite integrated and the knowledge is already there to do such a thing.